Hello everybody and welcome, I'm SonOfMowgef. It's Thursday and I'm back playing Ecosystem. Last week there was a bit of an issue. I was in danger of suffering from a collapsed ecosystem. So I took measures to rescue it, and you can see on your screen, and especially up here, that things have recovered quite nicely. I left this running for like 45 minutes, not even that. And yeah, there's no fish because I haven't put any down, but you can see the plankton has gone bloody mental. But everywhere that I put plants last week has thrived, for lack of a better term. Let's have a quick swim round and just get... Oh, I've still got it on 2 times speed. Oops, bad me. You can see, like, this area was doing pretty well anyway. The plankton is out of control. There is a clear section here where the kelp seems to have died off a bit. But everywhere else, it's, I mean, look at it. There's even, like, oh, that was a huge spike in the frame rate. A huge lag spike, I should say. There's a bit of red coral, was what I was trying to say, that survived. You can see, like, there's just plant life everywhere, and it is fairly varied as well. I am impressed. There's even like a bunch of mushrooms over here that are doing quite well for themselves. In fact, very well for themselves, which is nice. I saw some of this kelp over here. You can see that's doing pretty well, but it always does. It always goes mental when you put kelp down. Look at all this stuff. Look, a little kelp forest, which I think is a biome on Subnautica. It just happened that I said that. You can see, look, there's patches where one is dominant over the other, but it's fairly varied, and I'm quite impressed with it, the way things have recovered. It's pretty cool. What I also noticed is that the plants aren't spreading out in line with the current at all. They're spreading out from only where I put them, and then they seem to stop spreading out. Like, it's got this far in like the first like 20 minutes, and then for another 25-30 minutes or so that it's been running, it's done very, very little. And since I normally leave the simulation running for like 4 hours between gameplays, while I go off and do other things, you know, adult things, so I can pretend that I'm actually a functioning adult that does adult things in timely adult manners. Yeah, I mean, look, there's still these big patches of nothing where I've put nothing. And I thought, what I'm going to do here is a little experiment. If I put some plants down, say, like here, this is actually not a bad space. Oh, there's some there. Like here, if I clear these out with the tool, like so. Oh, I forget, you can't click and drag, you have to spam click. There we go. If I clear a lot of this stuff out, like so. Have a look, what else have we got here? There's other little patches down here. Oops, I removed some of the healthy stuff. That's fine, I guess. And I get rid of this. Like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the plants that I put last week down, but over here. And I'm going to put some more, I think, up in this little bold patch that's here. And then I'm going to go away for a couple of hours. I'll bring you guys back when I come back. and we'll see how things progress, because I don't know, it's confusing. From the tutorial, I assumed that the plants would spread out according to the current, which is one of the reasons why I drew this massive current across the map. The only thing that seems to follow it is the coral that does well in a current, which I think is this stuff. Where's my information window? There it is. Oh, that's near moving plankton. No wonder it did so well previously. It was, I mean, look at the bloody, every purple dot here is a batch of plankton. It's gone mad. That does well near other coral. Where's the one that does... am I just crazy? Was that a plant that does well in the current? That sounds like something I would do. Let's have a look. I bet it is. I bet it's one of these here. There we go. It was that one. Anyway, I'm going to put some of these random plants down. Again, I kind of like the hydrilla. It does well, you know, around other types of hydrilla. I'm going to put some pioneer plants down. If I can find some good places for it. Which apparently I can't. Have a look. Okay, so it is a fairly small area. I'm not that surprised. These do fairly well around other plants. So let's pop some of this down. Like so. That does well in a current. We're nowhere near a current. I don't think. I can put some of it down, I guess. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see the health here has gone from, what, 20 to 30 to it moved while I was looking at it. I hate it when things in games do that. Trying to see if I can find another little patch where I can put some things. This does well near other plant species. Let's have a few bits of this scattered about. Like so. You can see it's already doing well for itself here. And it's not too crowded at the moment, like there's a whole bunch of stuff here. But even this is fairly varied. Like you've got this type and this type. There's other types here, I'm not sure what exactly that is. I think there's some kind of pondweed. We come over here, look, you've got this thin, tall stuff that works. So now that I've like seeded this area a little bit, I guess I can do another little patch here, couldn't I? Go ahead and do that. I can just put a little bit of... Oh, I didn't mean to put that there, I just clicked. I wasn't paying attention. My bad. Put that there. Where's that stuff that does well near other plants? I can never remember which one it is that does that. That's another little patch I've seeded in this area. I think the current is actually like this. You can see where the plankton is following it. Yep, the health is already going up. Quite steeply, actually. Probably a good sign. Maybe a good sign. I'm not sure. Then I'm going to go up to here. Look at all this. Look, you can tell that plants were here in the past. It's all dead, but let's go do some spam clicking here. There we go. Get rid of all of this. And it should bring the hexagonal grid back up once it drops down below a certain supposed health. There it is. Look, you can see it here. Let's get all this cleared out. Okay. After that brief interlude, I am back. I've cleared out 2 reasonably decent sections here, although that looks like I missed a spot. How dare I? There we go. Apparently you can just click and drag it around like this. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like, you have to spam for a bit and then you can hold it and drag it around and it clears things, and yeah, a little bit odd, but let's get some plants down. Again, I want to keep things somewhat simple. Just some basic plant life here. Oh, I put that down in the wrong bloody place again, didn't I? Let's get some of this hydrilla that I like down. Let's say I'm keeping it fairly sparse, fairly simple. And I just want to see how far it spreads out from here. I think I can do a little bit more around here, actually. I could do some of this stuff that likes the outcroppings. There does seem to be quite a range of terrain here. Might just help things along a little bit. No, I mean, it'll just make everything awful, but you know. So the health here is going up. There was another one of these little nodes here somewhere. I don't seem to be able to find it now. Bloody typical of me. Again, I clicked when I shouldn't have done. I is the clever. Let's have a look. Is there another one that does well around plant species? Guess I could just pop some of the seagrass down. Seems to give the area a nice boost. Oh, I again put that in a stupid place. Then there's a little patch here. Okay. Apparently something spread out just as I was about to click. Okay. Maybe I can put some of this down? Maybe? It keeps telling me that the adaptability is reduced because it's nearby other plants, but apparently that's a thing. Put a little bit more down around. Again, I like to try and keep it simple but also varied. I know those two things don't really go together that well. I think it does the ecosystem good to have a variety of plants that spread out and establish. So if I click off of here, we've got a little patch down here, I think you can see. And I've got this little patch up here. I don't think there's a zoom. Let's have a look. Huh. That's interesting. Like, it has these tips. I can't get rid of just the plankton. That's what I'm trying to do, is get rid of just the plankton. Never mind. So I've got this patch here, which is there on the map, and I've got this patch down here on the map. And as I mentioned, I'm going to just walk away and leave this for a couple of hours and see how far it spreads out, if at all. You can see there's a few pieces of plant here. I might just quickly... No. Get rid of that bit. Because this, I think that was all dead plant. Oops! That wasn't, and I removed it anyway. I'm a dummy. But yeah, like I say, I am going to just walk away. I'm just going to leave this for a couple of hours, and I'll get back to... I've just wandered off the edge of the map there. There we go. And yeah, I'm going to bring you guys back in a couple of hours from now, and we'll see how things have developed, if they develop at all. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it'll be 2 seconds for you. It'll be several hours for me, so I'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome back. It's been about 3 hours between cuts, believe it or not. A little bit longer than I intended to leave it for, but yeah, it's me. Yeah. I didn't forget it. At least that was a thing that I didn't do. So how's it gone? Pretty well. You can see round here that the plants that I've put down have been spreading out, and there is still a bit of variety. I didn't put down a huge variety of plants, just like 3 or 4 different types, but they spread out fairly well. But you can see from here, look, that it looks like they've kind of slowed or stopped. You can tell my orientation, you know, according to the map here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to have a look at what's happening by swimming around. You can see the plankton is just absurd. This is the world of plankton now. It's probably because, you know, plankton does spread, especially in currents, I think, and there's no fish to eat the plankton. So it's this large purple blob at the moment. That will change once, you know, there are actually animals here. It does look like the kelp has spread out quite well, despite the fact the kelp does better with animals around it. I don't think it needs them, though. It just gets bonuses from having them. Jesus Christ, look at this place. The water is foggy with plankton. God damn. You see, like, this is where the mushrooms are. They're doing pretty well. But we've still got these huge, like, dead zones here, look. There's a few plants over there, but look, all this is just one big dead zone, and on the other side of it, whoop, this is the other area that I seeded. Again, some of it is done quite well, some of it is done not so well. There does seem to be still like a variety of different plants and whatnot, but it hasn't spread backwards over here. It hasn't gone over here. Look, there's still this great big blank section here. It just seems to spread out around where you put it, and then it stops. I don't think the current actually is affecting this at all. Definitely affecting the plankton. We've been over that. I did notice that while I was, you know, leaving it to do its thing, that this entire area over here became a dead zone. I don't know if I can... I can't really... I kind of wish that I could just turn the plankton off, you know? There's plenty of plankton over here. You can see that kelp forest that I mentioned earlier. It's, mostly dead. Oh, there's some sponge back here. I hadn't noticed that. Well, it seems like something survived. What exactly is that again? He says with a voice crack. So that's green tube sponge. Plus 5. It's 5 plus 5 times outcropping plus half times egg. So it's not really anywhere near outcroppings. I guess it is sort of reasonably. Is this the red coral? Oh god, the frame rate is not doing well. I can't tell if that's actual proper coral or if it's just a red bit of stone or dirt or whatever. It's kind of nice to see that some of that stuff survived. I planted that a long time ago. Most of it up here is gone. Just these large dead areas because I've not put anything here recently, I guess. The only stuff that's really... Oh, hang on. Some of the kelp here is apparently living. There's some more of that red coral. So most of it died off. But some of it has survived. I think what I'm going to do from now on with this particular area, I may try something different with another area. But I'm going to have a swim round to areas like this. I'm going to clear out all these plants and just do what I did today, is just seed it with life. I'll come over here and clear this area out and put a few plants down, a few of the really basic plants. And then I think there's another big area here that I could seed. There's more... Like here, there's lots and lots of places that I can still put plants down on. And I think, there's two huge sections. There's one bit there and there's a bit there. And of course, there's this beginning area that I could clear out and reseed. May have to do that. But what I'm going to do is clear it all out, reseed it, leave it to spread. I'm not going to put any fish down at all. And when the map is reasonably well covered, like I want a kind of like a 90% coverage. So this big patch here needs to be green. This patch and more of this down here. Mostly that middle patch is pretty much... this middle section is pretty much all plants. You can see like there's tons of it all over the place. And then what I'll do is I'll pop down little seeds of fish in, I guess, next week's episode. As long as, this goes well, it can, I can get it to take the seeds and spread out and, balance itself out and whatnot. And I'll add some fish next week, and then maybe the week after I'll add like some predators into the mix to keep the foragers in check, and then maybe I'll add some apex predators, and we'll see if we can get an actual ecosystem going, because the one that I had built, it's definitely not the same anymore. It was mostly coral, and now it's almost entirely plants. There is some coral, and there is some sponge, apparently, and mushrooms. And I'll be able to add those back in, like little bits here and there, and we'll see how well it spreads out. Maybe it'll make a colony, maybe it won't. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. It seems like I've got a lot of work to do here, so I'm going to get on that in time for, next week's episode. If you've got your comments, hints, tips, suggestions, criticisms in the comment section, there's my phone. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back again. My apologies for that brief interruption right at the end of the video. I'm expecting a delivery, and the delivery driver just called me to say he knocked my door and I wasn't in. Yeah, I'm not in right now, apparently. Right now, as I'm speaking to you in front of my computer with my headphones and my micro, I'm not in right now, apparently. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, if you've got comments, suggestions, hints, tips, criticisms, that kind of thing, down in the comments section. I'd be interested in hearing from people that also play this in regards to how their plant life has been spreading out, because apparently it doesn't follow current, which is the impression that I got from the tutorial. I've said that a bunch of times. So, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. Come back next week to see how things have gone. I'll be returning tomorrow for Factorio, being Factorio Friday. So I'm probably going to take Saturday off. I didn't live stream last Sunday, but I do plan to this coming Sunday. So that's what you've got to look forward to this week. Yeah, so I'm SonOfMowgef, this is Ecosystem. I'll see you soon.